Okay, so I wanted to do a video for my friends that are considering playing Dark Souls, but they've also heard people have quit it, and I just wanted to it's like a Dark Souls made easy sort of video. Um, because it is a really cool game. It's like a Skyrim. It has a Skyrim if you had a lot more effect on your strength via your own mechanics. It's not all based on your level. A lot of it's based on learning what you can do and what your style of play is and learning the enemy. So let's just put in a name here. Hi. That's our name. Very creative. Anyway, this way you can just get a sense of how you can not die over and over again and quit. And hopefully, with the positive things you've probably heard about the game, you might be interested in actually picking it up and giving it a shot. And I'd be happy to play with you. I'm just a big fanatic for the game, so that's why I'm making the video. Um, Without going into too much detail, the warrior I think is the easiest. The knight is option B, but this shield is so nice for being early on. I think your first run through you should choose a human effigy because that way, even if you die a bunch, you can turn human one more time and become and do some playing with others. That'll help you in the early game when you might have trouble even getting to a place where you can be summoned by others, which is another way to get to turn back to a human. So light this bonfire. Those are checkpoints in the game. You can teleport from any bonfire to any other, except for this is the first one I've ever gotten on this character, so that's all I've got. There you go. You can light torches on them. Torches have minimal use actually for how much it like seems to be. They made it a major mechanic, but it's actually not that important. So anyway, let's talk about the thing that Dark Souls does that is less welcoming is that they don't really explain all the mechanics of the game very well. This is the tutorial area, and they'll give you an idea of like how to do your attacks. And there's some NPCs that'll give you an idea of some of the basics. I think somebody just fell off of something and I got points for it. That's random. They give you the basic bits, but they don't really explain things very well. I kind of want to go back to that actually. So, little bit of fighting mechanics. I think we should wait on that. We can come back to the tutorial because really more important is I think the fact that if you're a friend of mine and you wanted to play together, we want to keep you alive so that way you have to be human in order to play together. So I'm going to bring you nearly as straight as possible path to playing together. These are all messages from other players, by the way. Some of them are just random, but some of them are really helpful. Bloodstains show where people have died. So this guy probably just rolled off the edge. Oh, what was he fighting there? I have no idea. Anyway. This is all just showing a little bit of the kind of online aspect of the game that just kind of seeps in here and there. But you get your second bonfire right here. Again, now I can teleport back if I wanted to do the tutorial later. And this lady is gives you your only regenable health potion. The Estus Flask comes back every time you sit at a bonfire. You get your Estus Flasks back. So it's really nice. Really nice to have those and upgrade them. Once you get Estus Flask Shards, you can get more Estus. And if you do... you can upgrade your Estus in another way, but again, if you end up deciding to play the game, we can talk about that later. She also will level you up. So I got 200 souls from that random person that fell off of something. But that's not enough. I need 901 to get my first level and get a little bit more of something. Yeah, so there's her. Go ahead and show you real quick. Your very first Estus flask shard, so you have two Estus flasks instead of one. Right here. So we hit this with our right bumper, and then we have an Estus flask shard. And also, this is weird maybe, but there's a cat who also is a shopkeeper, and she sells this ring right here, easier to connect with other players who have the same god. So it does cost 5,000 souls, but it's totally worth it. If you can't afford it and we're playing together, I can probably build up a character enough to drop you one and then level up another character. But the way it works is you pick a god every time you put on the ring, you can pick a god, and if you and another player have the same god chosen, then it'll make it easier for you to connect to each other's game. The only people that will see your summoning sign, the way that you end up playing with other people, the only way that other players will see it is if they're using that same ring at the same time in the same place. So it takes down the possibilities a lot and makes it so you can actually find your friends. One thing I didn't talk about is I just went straight to the most beginner area possible. So another thing in Dark Souls that they do is you might end up dying over and over again, but that's because you probably went to a harder area to start off. There's a lot of ways I could have left Majula, and I'm just going to tell you, this is the way towards the easy area. So if you need to go back and check that out, now you know. This is the earliest place where somebody else could summon into your game. So a little white sign would be on the ground right here, and I'll show you that in a little bit later. But I'd be able to jump into your game and maybe give you some stuff and give you that ring. Right here is the earliest time we could do that, because you can't summon neither bad guys, PvP, or friendlies can summon anywhere in Majula. At the beginning of the game, you can't do that. So there's another bonfire. Now I could warp back if I wanted. Oh, well, I have to fight this guy off first. Or just run away. But I could warp back to the other two bonfires again. Very useful thing to have. Let's see. So just getting into basic mechanics. The thing that people would find frustrating is losing their souls and feeling like they're not making progress. So there's two things there. The easier of the two is the idea of making progress and trying to make sure that you keep feeling like you're making progress without, even if you lose your souls. So anytime you get to a checkpoint, that's a way to make progress. And like I'm doing here, you can just run past everybody a lot of the time if you can do it decently well. It takes a little bit of work to learn how to properly run away from things. But I'm just running past a lot of this level and dodging a little bit to try and get to a place where I have something else I wanted to show you. But actually, this is a very important skill. If you have trouble fighting your way through the hordes of guys, you might want to try... here, actually, I'll pick up an item. There's something here. Oh yeah, buckler, new shield. I wonder how good that shield is. Anyway, let's see. That should be enough time. They could knock me off that ladder if they hit me enough while I was on it, but I did it. I got up quickly, and that's why I kind of stalled for time instead of going straight for the ladder there. Just another little tactic. Oh, so here's the little summon signs. There's the small ones here and the big ones. Oops. La 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 la. So now that that bonfire's lit, I could warp there anytime. If I die, that's where I'll go. I can't use it because there's enemies around, but if I lured those enemies elsewhere, then I could use it. One of my soapstones is in this door. Just have to break it down. Talk about him later. Well, probably not in this video. I probably won't actually get him. No, I didn't. Oh, they're still behind me. That's funny. I think it's this chest here, I believe. If I can get this before everyone kills me. Nope. Need to roll. Need to roll. Oh yeah. So this is a very important skill. Just dodging away so you can get what you need. Okay, so there it is. Small sign soapstone. I had to click through it before anybody could see it. I wonder if I'm going to die here. Oh, that was it. First death. Didn't have enough health to take that fall. But anyway, now that I have the white sign soapstone, the small one, I can put it down and I can help people in their games. And it's actually really helpful to join other people's games because dying in somebody else's game, nothing bad happens. I don't even think you lose the souls that you got while you were in their game. It's kind of awesome. All the souls that you got while you were there, you keep. And if you either beat a boss for them, or in the case of the small soapstone, if you just stay long enough and kill enough guys, it's kind of a time and killing enemies based thing. If you stay long enough, you'll become human again for free without using a human effigy, which is this guy here. I'll just show you how it works. So, oh man, I'm already being summoned. That'll be interesting. That'll take up a decent period of time. But we'll be able to talk about fighting mechanics a little bit more. See what I end up fighting here. Hopefully this doesn't get too extreme too quickly. This guy's definitely further along than I am on this brand new character. Anyway, so this gives you an idea. I just summon into his game and I can help him out. And I do recommend this to beginners, you know, like people might be a little frustrated, but I wonder if he's like hearing everything I say. No, it's restricted. Okay, fine. He's looking for more people to summon. I can't see if he's got other summon signs on the ground or not, but he's looking for help to get around, and I think you should look for help as well as join people's games. I've already said that a couple times, how it's a good idea. You can look ahead. I mean, if you wanted to, I mean, people would like you to join them, but you could even just go travel around, look around without any negatives. You can look ahead of your own game and even get an idea of what the bosses are like. So a lot of possibilities in joining into somebody's game. Okay, so gameplay mechanics or fighting mechanics. I just locked on to him. It's important. Pressing down the right trigger, you lock on. Holding up your shield, left bumper, very important. Oh, I've got two guys fighting me. Oh, that's actually probably for the best. So the game leader, holder, the person who had the game died, and so if he dies, then it's just over. And that's just how that works. So again, with this soapstone, I could put mine down, and as long as we're within a certain amount of souls, so for the entire life of this character, I've only ever had 200 souls. And since I died, I don't actually have them on me at the moment. But that is what determines... Oh, I'm pointing like an idiot. That is what determines who you can match up with. So every 10,000 souls is another category of folks and of characters. And if I have a character who's got 100,000 souls and you've got 0, they won't let us hang out together because I'm just kind of overpowered, right? But, oops, just got run through. But if it's a little bit closer, then we can make it work. So you can hardly see it, but my max health is actually reduced just a little bit because I died. So that's another kind of negative of dying. Positive being, if you have 0 souls in your little soul bank on the bottom right there, and you get all the way down to half health, then you've got nothing holding you back from exploring. Picking up items, you never nobody ever takes away your item, so any item that you get, you keep forever. Any of your checkpoints that you get, you keep forever, or soft checkpoints. I should talk about soft checkpoints real quick. So soft checkpoint is where, for example, the easiest one to note is this one here. a door that only opens from one side. It does not open from this side. So if I go to the other side and open it, I'll be able to easily, from the bonfire, come down and go through that door and get through however much I have to get through to get to that door. That's all finished up. So it's a lot of ways that even without fighting guys, you can progress. Even without getting souls, or even when you lose souls, you can progress. And then, you know, when you do get the souls, you want to make sure you level up, spend them, or spend them at a shopkeep like this. For example, this key is kind of vital. It's really important. So once I get 1,000 souls, I could just drop it on that. And then anytime I die, I'm not really losing anything. I don't have to go and pick up my souls. I didn't mention, but where did I die? Where did I... Oh, I died right in the middle of everything, didn't I? Right... Didn't I fall around here? Oh, I fell from up there. I think it's where I fell from. So I'll just show you picking up your souls. This is the part that can be frustrating sometimes. If you die twice in a row, you end up losing the souls because they're no longer over here. But I didn't die twice in a row. I got to pick them up again. I think I can actually... Oops. I wonder... I should show... Maybe I could show you... And dying twice in a row, it doesn't... I don't know, it's not that interesting to show you. This might be somebody to show fighting on. Fighting mechanics. But the basic gist of what is going to make this game easy and fun is we're going to make sure that you make progress. So if we're playing together, that's going to help a lot. And then also you can just keep getting new checkpoints and new items. And so even if you end up feeling stuck, like you can't fight your way through the hordes, you've got some options there. The bosses specifically will be ones where you're going to want to bring friends. Otherwise, you do have to go there and die a lot to learn them and get to the point where you really understand their moveset, to the point where you can dodge effectively and get in your hits, but not too many. So that kind of gets us into gameplay mechanics. So the basic gist is this. Very important to be evasive. Use your evasive maneuver. So I locked onto him. This helps me so that I'm not like, I don't have my back to him. That's really bad. Especially later on, people will do crit attacks, backstab. Anybody in this game, I think, you and the enemies can do backstabbing attacks if you get behind somebody and press the R2 button. Anyway, if I'm just back up, he's going to miss me. If I walk around, he's going to miss me. Rolling is another option. And then the shield. Later on, you'll get 100% physical block shields. And still, he doesn't hit me for much. I lose a little bit of stamina. But so a basic, really simple way to play, you can walk up, hold your shield, wait for him to hit you, and then roar. Some of the stronger enemies, and I just spammed my right bumper. Some of the stronger enemies, you're going to want to just do back and forth. So, Very simple way to go. Though I do recommend locking on and moving around. Most enemies, especially if they do an attack and you can dodge the attack. Oh, I didn't dodge it. I got hit by the shield and I still had time. You can get around behind them and do the backstab, which is usually a one-hit kill. Pew! Can't backstab every enemy, but most humanoid enemies you can backstab. As long as they're not too huge. Did I go backwards? I think I just went backwards. Anyway, so that's kind of very basic mechanics of the game. This guy's actually specifically for showing you about backstabs. Put your belly to them, press right bumper. So of all the things that you can do in the game, so there is a backstep if you just press B. This is not that useful until you get like later on or PvP. In general, your early game capability, you're better off rolling because you get more distance. Somebody could, in many cases, still hit you even with the backstep. So you want to stick to rolling or using your shield or also kind of going around people. It's another. So like I could get hit with the shield and take some damage, or I can just keep moving. He's gonna try to predict where I'm gonna be, but if I keep moving, he can't really do that very well. Trying to fight multiple enemies. I use my right stick to switch who I'm pointing to. I can pull the enemy away from the other one, and then it's easier to fight. It's a little bit hard to fight two people at once. So it's very important that you have a little bit of humbleness and be willing to kind of back away from certain situations and re-engage the situation when it's better for you. So I'm just strafing around him. I could attack whenever, but there we go. After he attacks, makes it a really nice time because he's going to be held still. Oh, he's almost dead. There we go. So it's actually kind of straightforward when you have that, but they don't really teach you that well. They give you, it's like they give you the entire alphabet, but they don't give you any words. They don't, give you like sets of movements to do. So again, so far I haven't even used my right trigger. I've just used left bumper and right bumper. Left trigger is just a different type of attack. Usually does a little bit more damage and requires a little bit more stamina. But one thing that is nice about a right trigger attack is that your attacks, there is some change based on what else you're doing with the stick. So one is you press forward and right trigger at the same time and you do a leaping attack. That one's really nice for just getting in on people from a distance. So I'm going to, oops, I didn't do it right. I still hit him. And get him to attack me. And then, oh, dang it. Wow, all right. Let's try it like this. Oh, I didn't gauge the distance right. So yeah, the rolling away is really useful. Putting up your shield's really useful. And yeah, it's actually kind of easier to do the right bumper attack. So he's doing a shield. This is actually very important too. He's doing a shield knockaway. So you can't just hold up your shield all the time. The other reason you can't hold up your shield all the time is because it reduces the amount of stamina regen that you have. So you need to know, like right now I can safely put it down and then I put it back up. He's going for that again. Let me just show you what happens when he gets that off. Let me heal first. They'll also hit you while you're healing. Got to be careful. You got to treat a heal like a counterattack. You need it to be timed to wait for them to do an attack and then you can heal, or you wait for them to do attack and then you can attack. So let's see his guard block. He'll probably do a guard block in a second if I keep holding this up endlessly. So I'm locked on, so I'm always facing him. Okay, so he does that and then he gets an attack in. So if there was somebody else with a shield, you could do that as well. It's forward, right bumper at the same time. Boop. It actually knocks him back a little bit, but doesn't do any damage. Similar to the backstep, another thing that you're unlikely to use is the parry. It's really hard with the timing. Timing is very difficult, and I just don't recommend it for new players. Better to use a shield and or rolling, or just moving around nicely. And just kind of good timing, learning they attack, you attack, and waiting for your opening. So let's see, there's an item, life gem. So yeah, I guess that's the basics. The way that Dark Souls becomes easy is you play with friends and you wait for the enemy to attack before you attack. Not necessarily every time. Sometimes you can kill them before they get a chance to attack. That's another possibility. If I go over here, two-hand, so Y, you can switch from one-handed to two-handed. This is the sort of shit that they'll tell you in the tutorial, so I'm not trying to give you all of that. Just trying to give some basic info just to make it maybe a little bit more appetizing to try. So there's two guys. One option is I can just try and finish this guy off before the other guy has a chance to do anything. So now I can fight this guy in peace. And I did attack before waiting for an attack in that case. Sometimes it'll get you in trouble because it leaves you open anytime you attack. But, you know, with this level of guy, I can kind of get away with it. Again, they'll teach you right here, plunging attack, right bumper when you fall. Whee! You'll still take some fall damage, but you do a lot of damage too. So this is cool. So again, I can switch off between looking at both of them. And it's just important to not panic. You know, I can stay here for so long without taking very much damage at all. Because I'm moving, I can even roll if I'm worried about an attack actually hitting me. I could even look away as long as I'm paying attention to my camera so I don't get hit. I need to turn my camera myself. This is bad because I don't know where they're coming from. And then yeah, look for an opening. This guy has just used up all of his stamina, so I can just finish him off. I saw that he did 3 attacks. Oh, did I get hit there? I think I did. You have a short period of time while you're rolling that you're invulnerable. It's honestly, it's not the easiest mechanic to get good at. I think it's better to try to avoid their blade completely. But if you're going to be working on that invulnerability, you want to go through the blade so it has the least contact with you. So if he's swinging across his body, I want to go into that. So into, wow, I didn't do that right. I love that my tutorial video, I'm failing miserably. All right. I wonder if I should, man, he's pretty good at following me. This is good. This is good to show you guys. He's been following my attack, or my movement. Well, good time for a shield, that's for sure. Let's try the roll again. This is the kind of timing you need for the parry. Even shorter amount of time you need for a proper parry. It's very difficult. Come on. Let's try this again. Okay, I waited for it and I got the roll I needed. But also, rolling away is a lot easier, as I just showed. He attacks, I roll away, and we're fine. But sometimes you can roll through them. He will turn and strafe, but if he attacks, he's going to be stuck in one motion, and so he won't be following me endlessly. Sometimes. I'm not even sure if I can get behind this guy. I'd have to do a lot of attacks. Seems like this guy's pretty conservative about not doing attacks that keep him open for too long. But yeah, so you wait for an opening, you get your opening. Really basic right bumper will do the trick. Having a shield is very important. Locking onto your target is very important. Rolling is going to be very useful. And sometimes just running past all your enemies is not a bad way to go. Oh, and most importantly, if you're fighting a boss, what the hell? I didn't even mean to do that. If you're fighting a boss, bring me. Bring a friend. Oftentimes around bosses, as long as you turn human, you should see a decent amount of people around waiting to come help you. If not, give me a text, you know, come help, come party. As long as I have a character within your level range, I will be happy to come hang out. I wonder if I should show any boss fight stuff. I could try to run to the first boss. Might be a spoiler. I could run to a secondary boss. I mean, the basics of a boss is he's going to be bigger. I don't think you can backstab any boss in the game. And it just becomes even more important to work on that timing. If you just get one attack in, and then, you dodge, weave, then you get your one attack in, and then you dodge, weave, you get your one attack, maybe some more dodging, get your one attack. This guy's trying to kill you, you put up your shield, you block one, get your attack in. It's very important when they can kill you in 2 or 3 shots or 1 shot, and you take 30, 40 or more shots to hit them, to kill them. you're gonna the defensive aspect is very important if you can't just burst somebody down. So, yeah, this is longer than I wanted it to be, but maybe if you're interested, you'll come and check it out for the whole duration. If anybody has any questions or wants to play some, contact me, comment or something. Bye-bye.